Hello and welcome to Call to Arms, and thank you for answering the call, and welcome back. We're at day 2 of the Broken Realms and Minis for War GT number 4, and yep, I'm your host DJ, and I'm joined once again by Mr. Kyle Stark. Good morning, Kyle.
Morning, David. Feeling much better today.
Feeling much better.
Much
Good.
better
I'm glad. I'm glad. As long as you're feeling better, Kyle, that's all that matters. I'm feeling good, mate. I'm feeling good. Yeah, I basically just after the stream yesterday, just went straight home, pulled an Irish exit, and just decided to go full introvert mode. I've been talking for about, it felt like 12 hours straight, so I'm just like, nope, I'm way home now.
Social battery completely gone.
Absolutely, just out of it. So yeah. So thank you all for tuning in yesterday. It was really good to get some chat interaction as well, so please keep that going today if you can. I know it's an early start on a Sunday morning, but yeah, we should have some good Warhammer for you here today. In terms of our game that we have got Mr. John Bayliss versus Tom Youdale, and both these guys are on 3-0 after day 1, so doing very well. We've got John on Seraphon, and we've got Tom on Skaven, which you love to see. Skaven's something that you're just not really talked about in terms of the competitive scene, but yeah, so Tom's on 3-0, doing very well, and I thought this would be a really nice game to show you guys. So yeah, before we go into the list, just want to say thank you to all the channel sponsors, so Accent Gaming Dunfermline, Pro Painted Studios, and Mini Magtray. Thank you to all my patrons, and thank you all for watching and tuning in. So without further ado, let's go, and we'll have a wee chat about the lists. So I've got the lists up here. Oh, my apologies. There we go. There we go. So we're going to go over the Seraphon list first. So we've got Seraphon. This is basically just like the Starborn list. Yeah, it's the go-to list.
Cookie cutter list.
Except John is not running an Incarnate. In fact, in his list, he is basically trying to say that this is a narrative list, which I don't quite buy.
Not to think I'd call John a narrative gamer, unless the narrative is winning.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Unless his narrative is winning. So yes, but he's not got the Incarnate, which is nice. So there's no Rupture, Incarnate, Feed It Endless Spell shenanigans. It's just a good, honest Mortal Wounds list, which is nice to see. So he's obviously gone Fangs of Sotek, which is the redeploy Skinks one. He's got Spellcasting Savant on his Slan, his General, so he just needs to keep him alive. And his Triumph is Inspire. Just checking in on John's points, 1975, so a decent bite of the apple of the Triumph. And then we've got the leaders. We've got his Slan. He's obviously got Lord of Celestial Resonance and Space Folder's Stave. That's just a given. I think every single Starborn list just has this Slan with these things on it. So for those of you who don't know, the command trait means that for every spell the Slan casts, instead of only one celestial conjuration point, he gets 2. So the Slan can get 6 because he's a 3-cast wizard. And then the Space Folder Stave means that the next time that a unit would be either set up, basically, so teleported, brought in, summoned, you can put them outside 7 inches instead of outside 9 inches. So some nice trickery there, either with getting some charges in the Raptidons, really easy charges, or getting a little skink wizard Blizzard in there as well. So we'll move on. We've then got Lord Croak. Obviously, we've then got the Ashworth Bearer, obviously. We've then got a Star Seer with Cosmic Crush, nice Horde Clearer spell there. He's also got Speed of Huanchi to get those Raptidons moving in the hero phase. And then we've got a Star Priest with Hoarfrost and Merciless Blizzard as well. Because we've gone for the enhancement of having additional spell lore, looks like. So that's pretty nice. And then we've got Battle Line, we've got 2 5s of Saurus Guard, so he's really trying to keep those heroes safe. Most times you'll only see maybe 1 5.
Yeah, normally see about 5
of the Saurus, but we've got that. Just checking that mic was on. And then we've got the 10 Saurus Warriors just to kind of be bodies on the table. And we've got 2 5s of Raptidons. Now these things can slap, so they're really nice to see them. Usually they're just summoned on, but he's decided to start with a couple in his list, which means he can summon even more.
Yeah, not starting with the Incarnate. It gives him
quite a lot of points. And then in terms of spells, endless spells, he's got Geminids, he's got Maelstrom, and he's got Gravetide. So yeah, really nice list this. John's obviously been doing very well, going 3-0. So let's go on to his opponent, Mr. Tom Youdale, and he is running Skaven. So he's going Skaven. Grand Strat is Magic Made Manifest. So this sounds like a GHB Grand Strat. So we'll have a wee check and see what that actually is, because I generally don't know what that is.
I've heard of this one actually.
But he's went for Triumphs. He's got Indomitable, so let's check points. No, he's not getting his Triumph because he's 2k. So John will get his Triumph. Magic Made Manifest.
So when the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if there are 2 or more endless spells or incarnates on the battlefield that are controlled or bonded to friendly units.
So he's basically trying to make sure that he gets 2 endless spells out and they are bonded to his own units. This is a grand strat that if he gets the turn, if he gets to go last in the last battle round, like could be pretty good for him. If he doesn't, then it's a bit dicey, because obviously we can have dispel attempts, and also this is just going to be difficult in general to get this game, because John has got magic domination really with that Seraphon
coming out
list.
his nose.
So yeah, so that'll be a tricky one. Just checking. Yep, I've had nobody commenting that the sound is bad, so we're gonna keep bashing on. So in terms of his list, he's got an Arch Warlock with Blizzard. He's got a Claw Lord. He's got a Vermin King. He's got a Grey Seer with Skitterleap. Lord Screech Vermin King, my apologies. He's got a Warlock Engineer with Hoarfrost, and he's got a Vermin Lord Warbringer. So basically already I can see here that he can set up a Teleport Blizzard with that Arch Warlock and the Grey Seer, because Skitterleap is just a teleport spell.
Yes.
And then he can just Blizzard something off with that Arch Warlock, which is nice. The Vermin Lord Warbringer, now this guy, he can be pretty choppy, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got the command trait Devious Adversary, so we'll check that out as well. Command traits, because I'm pretty sure, so this is the one where if he fights within 3 inches of an enemy unit that has not yet fought in that phase, you add 2 to the attacks characteristic of this general's melee weapons until the end of that phase. And the Arch Warbringer's got quite a lot of attacks, and he's also gone for the Warpstone Charm as his artifact, and he's gone for Flaming Weapon. So I think I can already see the little combo here. He's trying to get more attacks on the Warbringer, and then he's basically trying to bump up the damage with Flaming Weapon, which is really good. And then the Warpstone Charm, which we'll just have a wee double check. I want to say this is the one where he can... Is this the one where he can make something fight last? Let's see. Artifacts of Power. The Warpstone Charm.
Subtract 1 from save rolls for enemy units within 3 inches of the bearer.
Right, okay, so subtract 1 from save rolls for enemy units. That's nice. And it started here phase, roll a dice and a 1, the bearer suffers D3 mortal wounds. Alright, okay, so it's no reward without risk. So he might be taking some mortal wounds. But yeah, so that's good to see. So this could be pretty choppy, this Warbringer. And then the rest of the list is pretty straightforward. It's 4 20-man unit of clan rats.
A lot of bodies.
These are great. 100 points for 20 wounds.
Very cheap.
That's awesome. That can retreat and charge.
Yeah, and they get the extra range as well, which is nice for having.
That's so good. I think he's going to be using these as screens, as objective grabbers and holders. Some sneaky jank there, and then he's got 2 warp lightning cannons. And if these things pop off, they can do a heinous amount of damage into a unit, which is awesome. A lot of mortal wounds. And then we've got the endless spells. We've got Geminids and we've got Gravetide. So these are just good endless spells, but they also are required for his grand strat as well. So he needs to at least have 2 wizards left alive at the end of the game, and then hopefully try and get this grand strat if he can get it through John. This is a 2-drop. I believe John is a 10-drop. I think John has just not given 2 hoots about drops, and I've been told just right there as well that Tom has given John first turn.
Yes.
Yep.
Magical dominance.
And magical dominance is the battle tactic. So let's have a look, guys, at the actual game. So here we can see we've got the Skaven player, and his army looks like he's been set up in this area here. And as you can see, he's got the nice clan rats up as screens. You can see the 2 Vermin Lords there. You've got the 2 Warp Lightning Cannons. And also, something to keep an eye on as well, the gnaw holes. So he's got 1 gnaw hole there. He's got 1 gnaw hole up here. And looks like he's got, another one just down here. Okay, so keep an eye on those, because he can teleport through them, can do some shenanigans through there. So John will definitely have to keep that in mind. And I'm sure he will, because John also is a firm favourite of Skaven as well. I've seen him run Skaven before as well, so he should know exactly what the script is.
John is he does vary his armies quite a lot, which is quite nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In terms of the missions, let's just have a quick chat about the mission as well. So the mission we're playing, this is Nexus Collapse, I believe, is what we're playing.
Nexus today, which is also one of the spicier battle plans
correct.
that we agreed with.
Yeah, correct.
So it can go very wrong, but we can see here actually that they've both deployed on objectives already. So they're both already going to be getting their hold 1, hold 2 each.
Yes.
So what Tom is really looking to do here is potentially score 1 fewer points than John.
Yep.
and hopefully he can blow up those 2 objectives in his home territory.
Yeah.
Dealing all the mortal wounds, if possible, to his army, and forcing John to break out of his castle if he hopes to kind of win primaries.
Yeah, no, really, it's a really cool list, and you really need a plan going in for this one. And yeah, it looks to be like the well, I could be wrong. I think there are other people that have different plans. But yeah, my particular favourite way to do this is just what Kyle said there. Make your opponent go first, then make sure you can tailor it that you just score exactly 1 point less than your opponent. Therefore, you can burn 2 objectives. You want to burn 2 probably of the most important objectives to your opponent. And then you can, if you win prio, you can rinse and repeat. You can give your opponent turn, and then you can make sure that you score, and it's because it's not what was scored in the last battle round, it's just overall score.
It's cumulative, yes.
So in the second, say for example, John scores 5 points here, Tom could score 4, burn 2 objectives. Tom wins prio, gives it to John, and then John could score 5, Tom could score another 5, so it's 10-9. He could burn another 2 objectives, and he could make it so that there's only 2 live and that he is on them and in full control of them, and basically saying to John, come and get them. Come and get them if you want to score any more primary. And then he can really ramp up. He can score a 5, maybe hold John to just a 2 potentially if he only gets a battle tactic. John will then still be able to burn at the end of his turn, but if he wants to burn, it then becomes a battle tactic game. I don't know if Tom wants it to go that way, because Skaven don't have a lot of good book battle tactics.
Yes.
He's really going to be using a lot of the General's Handbook ones. So that's an interesting one. So let's go this up, because I can already see we've got an endless spell out here. Looks like John has just cast Gravetide, and he'll obviously, I think, be measuring from his wizards to make sure that none of them are in unbind range of Tom's wizards, or any hero that could take a heroic action unbind. To make sure that he doesn't get, doesn't fail this battle tactics. But it looks like magical dominance is on. Perfect. So we'll score this up just now. So Seraphon going first. They'll be on 2 CP. What I'll probably have to do is I'll have to shout over at John and ask him how many bloody celestial conjuration points he gets, because I know that most of these Starborn lists can get a heinous amount in one turn.
I think it's something like 16.
Yeah, it looks about 16. So we'll kind of tally that up as well, and we'll also put in that he's gone for magical dominance. Perfect. Okay. So hello to everyone in chat. We've got Al M saying, let's go guys, let's go. We've got Thomas Backhouse. Morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Thomas. Thank you for joining us again. We're trying to get Thomas off the 40k train and back onto Sigmar. Back into Sigmar's light. So welcome back. And then we've got Lenny Lyon. Good morning, Lenny. And he's saying, let's go as well. So yes, let us all go. That's what I say. So looks like we've got some casts happening here. John is ticking up his celestial conjuration points.
Yeah, he's got Maelstrom out just now.
Oh, fantastic. So Maelstrom just great for Seraphon lists, because you can tick that up right quick with the casts, and then you can just, make it explode. And then that's a lot of mortal wounds as well. AoE mortal wounds for sure. So yeah, looks like we've got the Maelstrom, and we've got the Gravetide, both in that area just right there. So yep, won't be doing much right now, but we can potentially tick up the Maelstrom, and it's also just denying board space as well. The Gravetide's a big old base, so it's really good just to use that to try and hem your opponent in, which is really good.
It's going to be very good to just whittle down those bodies that he's got there.
Oh, for sure. So the 20 clan rats, what's that? 25 ups, you're going to do, what, 6 to 7 mortal wounds? Roughly about that, about third. So nice just to kind of rattle through, and obviously it can hit multiple units as well, right?
Yes,
yeah, so
and obviously you can only inspire one of them.
Yes,
so
exactly.
You start to lose quite a lot. Skaven not renowned for their bravery.
Yes. Indeed, the Musk of Fear. Okay. Craig saying good morning. So who's playing the armies? Yep, so we've got John Bayliss versus Tom Youdale. If you want to check out the list, guys, they are in the video description down below. I've updated them this morning, so you can have a look at the list if you missed the list breakdown. We did that first thing. So yeah, that's okay, Craig. It's okay to be late.
It's still 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning.
It's okay to be late. It's only 18 minutes past 10. It's okay to be 18 minutes late. Unfortunately, the day is now gone. Okay, it's gone, evaporated. It's evaporated into the ether. What are you doing? Okay, so we've got some more casts happening here, and what we'll do is we'll get a wee summary from John as to what spells have been cast. Trying to keep a track of the number of Seraphon spells is pretty daunting.
Gets out of
so
hand.
we'll get a nice wee summary for him, what's gone off, what's not gone off. We already know that Gravetide and Maelstrom have definitely gone off, and yeah, it looks like he's well outside of Unbind range, so he's going to get magical dominance for sure. I do also wonder if the players have remembered that they have a chess clock as well. You can actually see here, guys, I'll just show you on here. We have a chess clock right here. For those of you who haven't played with a chess clock before, it's quite important. A lot of these kind of top table games, kind of later on in tournaments, it's just to make sure that we don't have any results that are dubious, because if you go over time or anything like that and start to talk things out, then it's very difficult to then establish who's actually won here.
Yeah, it helps to prevent deliberate slow play as well, because
exactly.
we have seen that before, where it's pretty common in order to try and force out a draw, perhaps, or something like that. So it's really good to kind of prevent any kind of, as you mentioned, dubious behaviour.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But everyone here is an upstanding gentleman, so I'm sure there'll be none of that.
Absolutely. John is very well known for really enjoying being on stream games. He was on stream at Worlds, and got a really great story for you here. He was playing Beast of Chaos. He set up his entire army with the plan of going first. Was then basically taking so long to unpack his army that he just said to his opponent, "Oh, you know what, you just take first." And then he lost Be'lakor, and he lost Be'lakor and his Herdstone turn one.
What was he playing?
John was playing Bok. He was playing Beast of Chaos, and his opponent, I don't actually remember what he was playing. Can't for life of me remember, but it was. I think John was maybe just a little bit flustered. A stream can do that to you. Being on stream can do that. You've got loads of eyes watching you, people commenting on your every move, and then just a very slight misplay of, oh, you know what, it's fine. Like, you can. I've got a null deploy army. You can just take first. But then forgetting the kind of the threat ranges of his opponent, and then so losing Be'lakor turn one, so he wasn't able to Be'lakor anything at all because he lost him, and his Herdstone was also monstrously rampaged and destroyed as well. So that was a huge blow. Yes, thanks, Craig. He was playing Tzeentch, playing against the Tzeentch. So yeah, huge blow. But yeah, he looks like he's playing a lot tighter this morning. You would expect that from John. Probably one of the best players in Scotland, to be honest. And he's wearing his Team Germany t-shirt that he swapped at Worlds as well. Does look very nice on Johnny. I like him in black.
Slimming.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, so looks like we are
starting on movement phase.
Well, I'm not sure, because I think that was just Speed of Huanxi that was just cast onto those Raptidons to get them moving in the hero phase. Yep, so here comes the Gravetide. It's going to clip 2 Clan Rat units here, so we'll see how many Mortal Wounds it can cast. So that Gravetide looks like it's got a really good distance on it. So it's set up wholly within 8 and then moves 12. So he must have had a hero either quite close up, or it could have been either a Slan or Croak casting through a little skink, potentially something to extend the range, perhaps, maybe. We'll have to have a wee chat. It looks like John's also got Geminids out as well. He's just gone ham, absolutely ham, and cast everything he can. So let's see how much that Tom is losing here. Obviously Clan Rats have no ward save. Lost a handful.
5.
And into the other squad.
5 mortal wounds so far.
Looks like another 5, yeah. Okay, so 2 5s in the mortal wounds. 2 5 mortal wounds, looks not bad. For nothing. So yeah, we've got Doggy Doodoo saying let's go Skaven. You love to see the rats, and also Tom is rolling cheese dice as well. So so great to see it. And then Tom's asking who was top in the rankings at the end of day 1. Well, I'll tell you, the game on table 1 is Nathan versus Andy Pennington. So That's a very spicy one. Nathan has already abused multiple Seraphon players yesterday. This is his third Seraphon game of the weekend. So I think Khorne just doing what Khorne does, shutting down magic and just being a lot to deal with in terms of that board control.
Hyper-aggressive movement, really, as we saw yesterday with the game with Richard, just really pins them in, and then if they've got nowhere to go, it kind of just falls apart rapidly, I think, for the Seraphon players.
100%. And we did see just how aggressive and how much board control Nathan was able to get early on at turn 1, turn 2, and then just really just push Rich and control that Incarnate as well. So he's been hoping to do the same against Andy today. If you haven't watched that battle report, please go and check that out. It was game 2, please, I will apologise for any audio issues as well. Once YouTube has decided that it's fully uploaded, I will be getting those videos edited as well.
You are going to edit them?
I absolutely will edit them. Craig be damned. Craig flaming me yesterday for not editing any videos. How dare you? Phil McGuinness coming in with it's an older joke, but it still checks out. The clan rats will be back and in greater numbers. Lovely Star Wars reference there. Tom saying he's going to watch that when he paints later. Fantastic. What are we painting up, Tom? What are we painting? Please let us know. I know Phil was painting yesterday. He was painting some 40k orcs that he's been slow growing for 10 years. So it'll be nice to see them on the table eventually. New edition and all that. We're in 10th. So here's John moving up the Geminids now. They won't be doing anything this turn, but if Tom doesn't dispel them, then they could be causing some havoc in his lines. Yeah,
it's always interesting to see someone cast Geminids turn 1. Simply just because, as you mentioned, they don't really tend to do much. Obviously, they're a bit annoying for your opponent if they have to move towards them, I suppose. But you've got the big risk of your opponent just dispelling them, and then you're kind of stuck without them.
Am I right in saying that? A Warp Lightning Cannon has just died?
It does look like that. One has been removed.
Wow. Okay. So also, I just saw Maelstrom being removed there as well. So it looks like that has topped off and it has put out some AoE mortal wounds. I can see Tom has put out a lot of cheese dice, which could only denote that wounds have been caused in an aura.
Must have done enough to clip one off.
Well, looks as if it looks as if he's got a couple of heroes garrisoning this terrain here. Could be 2 or 3, so that could be where the Grey Seer is, and both Warlocks potentially. Looks like they've all taken damage. You've also got the 2 Vermin Lords and the Warp Lightning Cannon also looking like they've taken damage as well. And we've lost quite a lot more Clan Rats also. This is a hugely punishing turn 1 from John here, and he's somehow managed to remove the Warp Lightning Cannon. That's on 10 wounds though, so I'm struggling to think of how he managed.
A couple of spells perhaps.
Potentially, but just at what range? How did he manage to get all the way over there? Oh, potentially could be Comet's Call. So Comet's Call and the Maelstrom popping off potentially. Would that not just be 2d3 mortal wounds max?
Yeah, so it's not...
This is interesting. I'm going to have to check up the wounds characteristic of these Warp Lightning Cannons, but there's definitely a cannon gone. 100% a Warp Lightning Cannon gone. 8 wounds on that thing.
Okay,
so must have come from somewhere. We'll have a wee update from John in a wee second after he's finished his movement phase, but if that's the case, this has been
giving away first could be very punishing.
Tremendous turn from John. Just doing a lot of damage here, and he's not really needing to put anything at risk, danger close at all. So let's see. It looks like he's summoning on some skinks potentially. So we'll see how many conjuration points he's ended up with at the end of this turn. Don't think those skinks were there to begin with. In fact, I don't think he has any skinks in his list at all. So looks like a wee bit of summoning. Yep. So some summoning, some 10 skinks. He's just covering up his back corner there because he doesn't want a wee skitter leap getting in at all. He's got a really nice front line here, basically from this edge here all the way along. Just a nice front line. And he's going to be getting hold 1, hold 2, but not more. Because summoning,
aiming for 4 points.
Summoning it happens at the end, or it could well be that just down here we could actually have a little Raptidon just towing onto that objective there. So I'll double check with John and see how many points he gets. I think potentially, if you're going first, you just want to get 5. You just want to get 5, right? And then if Tom wants to do the shenanigans of scoring 1 less, then feel free.
It is on a 4-up as well, the Mortal Wounds, so
exactly.
it's not a devastating.
And he's only got the 1 unit in range of it as well.
Yes.
So I don't think he'll be too worried there. John, of course, running the old Saurus Knights models as his Raptidon Charger. So I think he'll lose some tournament points there for that, Kyle.
Yeah, a lot of Seraphon players have actually started to do it. They're just changing the base sizes.
For sure. Looks as if that's some clan rats rolling for bravery.
Looks like
he's also used a CP for Inspiring Presence as well. So we'll keep the CPs as is because he'll tick back up just now. John should be on 3 now, and we'll just get a little update from John as Tom is pondering out his turn 1.
Well, he might be on more because he is a Seraphon player and he does get to roll.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally forgot that he's going to have hundreds of CP. So we'll get a wee up. Okay, nice little update there from John. So we've got to the bottom of how the Warp Lightning Cannon has disappeared. It was a triple threat combination. It was Maelstrom going off, it was Comet's Call, and then of course we forgot all about the fact that he can use the engine to mortal wound the scenery as well. So that is why we've got those little heroes who are garrison. They must have got hit, and then he's done that. So he's managed to do 8 wounds there to that Warp Lightning Cannon. So really nice there. He's taken out one of those threats. He's also taken out a good number of clan rats. He did only get a 4-point turn. He's not gone for the 5. He decided to not put those Raptidons on that objective there. So interesting play from John here. It's kind of weird because if Tom then does want to do the shenanigans, he's going to have to
not score a battle.
Going to have to not score a battle tactic, yeah. So or only hold 1 and score a battle, but he's already holding 2.
He's already holding 2.
Already
so
holding 2.
Very, yeah. So quite smart play here.
Yeah. So what then this might completely throw this then is that Tom might just want to go for 5 and then put John in the driving seat of who can burn the objectives, and then we'll see from there. But that's very interesting from John. I like that. Very nice. So we'll score up all the information that we know so far. So we know that Seraphon are on 4 victory points. We're also being told that John has got 6 CP in hand, and we also have 9 celestial conjuration points as he did summon those 10 skinks. And I'm just going to double check how much 10 skinks actually cost. So 10 skinks costs, oh my goodness, they look super cheap. 6. Only 6. Conjuration points.
He got 15.
Means he tapped out at 15 conjuration points there, turn 1. And he did indeed get his magical dominance as well. So interesting. We'll double check battle tactic that Tom's went for as well, and we'll see. So yeah, Tom's going for Intimidate the Invaders. So this is where you have to have more units wholly outside of your deployment zone than within. So this should be an easy one for Tom, as the deployment zone is just a quarter, just that table quarter that's up there.
Nice,
so he should be able to get more out than in. So we will see. Interesting to know though if those 3 little heroes are garrisoning that terrain. Oh my gosh, and we're just being told that his very first cast, he did Peril, so it's double 1s there. That's not good. Oh dear. So from magical domination to magical whiffery over there for the Skaven. That's unfortunate. So we'll take that up just now. So he's gone for Intimidate Invaders. Yeah, so the point I was trying to make was I'd be interested to see if those Intimidate Be interested to see if those heroes can actually get out of the garrisoned scenery. Because obviously they can't normal move; they can only get out, and it has to be just be a move within 6. So be interested to see if you can get all of them out and actually like beyond this line. Looks like that's the line of the territory, so you'd have to make sure that they get kind of beyond that. I think it should be doable. It should be, because you don't have to be wholly within; it just has to be within. So I think it should be okay. Because I'd hate for that to scupper his chances at battle tactic here. So catching up with the comments, we've got Thomas saying, "You know what I'm painting." Oh yes, so Thomas is actually painting up. I've asked him to commission paint a Slaves to Darkness army for me, so I'm very excited. Hopefully get my hands on them by kind of maybe near the end of the month. So Tom's been working furiously away on those.
Looks like he's working on Archeon himself at the moment.
You love to see it. So yeah, we've got Archeon. So just a kind of a nice mixed army. So Archeon, I think there's 20 warriors, 10 knights, 10 chosen, smattering of other little things. So it was just a nice kind of a mixed army, both from the kind of the launch box and a couple of other bits and mobs I could pick up, plus Archeon, and I was just like, yeah. So Tom's a really, really good painter, for those of you who don't know. There's some really nice stuff. He has a lovely...
just kind of show off the beautiful new models.
Oh yeah, for sure. Had a lovely Night Hunt army. He also did a custom army where he had some kind of older sculpts, some older dragon sculpts as well, that he uses kind of blood as his Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, things like that for Soul Blight. So really, really nice. And he does do Grim very well. He does quite a lot of blood spatter and things like that, dirt and stuff like that. So I really like that. So I really like that kind of aesthetic. So he'll definitely do them justice. So looking forward to getting my hands on them. Who else have we got in chat? We've got Martin J. Good morning, folks. He's saying, been trying to catch the streams and keep up to date while on holiday in the deepest, darkest Cornwall. Love it. So no, well done for managing to keep tabs, and hopefully your other half doesn't admonish you too much for tuning in about the wee men, the toy soldiers. So yeah, but thanks for keeping tabs. Ryan Pothecary saying, "Hola, ¿cómo está?" And then we've also got Cara Numi. Morning, guys. And she says, "Ooh, my boys, yes." Yeah, Cara loves her Skaven. She loves Skaven. She loves Beasts of Chaos. And she loves Gargants. And I think that's all of the loves I've got. If there's any other loves in there, Cara, please let me know. But I think those are her main babies. But yeah, she'll be very happy to see that we've got Skaven on stream here. Very, very cool. So it's like we're straight into movement phase here. Magic phase didn't go well. We had a miscast straight off the bat. First roll in the dice was a miscast, and then we do have a kind of a smattering of other spells. Looks like he's not gone for a Skitter Leap Blizzard combo, purely because he can't really get into anything tasty. John has screened out very well, so we're just moving up. Where I think we're just going to go for this. We're going for 5 points. Looks like we're just going for the 5 points. Puts John in control, but it doesn't necessarily mean that John can capitalise on it, because John could burn 2 objectives, and then Tom could still win Prio, and then score another 5 points, and then you're 10-4 up. So then it's.
And 2 objectives down.
Exactly. So it doesn't. Again, I don't know if Tom wants it to go the way of burning objectives, to be honest, because, as I say, battle tactics is not great for him. So he would probably want to keep some GHB. Probably want to keep some objectives on the board to score some points, because he will be probably leaning on those GHB battle tactics. We'll have a look at Skaven just now, just to see what kind of battle tactics we've got in there. Just from my memory, it's not great, but we'll have a double check and see for sure kind of what things he potentially could go for. Tom being very aggressive there. Looks like he's been very aggressive with the Warbringer, putting that right in the centre of the table there. So yep, right here, pushing it straight forward. John's then gone for a redeploy. Looks like redeploying 5 Saurus Guards. So he's moved them there. Doesn't look like they moved particularly far. I think that Tom was maybe trying to get the Warbringer into the party. So the Saurus Guard. And then we do also have Saurus Warriors. Just right here as well. We've got a block of 10 Saurus Warriors, so potentially might want to get in there. looks like we're just measuring up threat ranges just now. Perfect. So we've got some battle tactics here. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got? We've got Restore the Beast, Rat Ogre, not going to get it. Death Mark, Eshin unit, nope, not going to get it. Fire, more. You have to pick an enemy monster in the battlefield. Whoop, can't get that because John doesn't have any monsters. And Crescendo of the Diseased Choir, doesn't have any Clan Pestilence. So, perfect. Fantastic. Glad we had a chat about that.
That'll be that then.
Oh my God. So yeah, unfortunately, I think Skaven, one of the books that probably was kind of tarred most with terrible battle tactics. Just
yeah, the book itself seems more of a kind of a side grade than anything else. I know quite a lot of the players weren't happy with it.
Yeah, a lot of people basically calling it a copy-paste.
Yes.
Just a copy-paste of last book. Not really much else changed, and in terms of power, probably not seeing it very well. Some lists can do quite well. The old Thankwall builds, where you saw a lot of them. Thankwall 9 Storm Fiends.
Yeah, sadly though, the Thankwall skateboard's been nerfed into oblivion, so no more 20 mortal wounds at the back.
Yep. So that I think that dream's dead now. So it's really where does Skaven go from here to try and make competitive build? Obviously, Tom's done very well. He's went 3-0. So yeah, just look to see a bit. Yeah, I feel things not looking great for Tom here, in terms of battle tactics, in terms of just this game in general. And I think if John's able to win Prio into turn 2, we could see a lot of damage coming out here, both from spells and also from the Raptidons as well, because they absolutely slap.
They do hit when they get there. They're absolutely
point for point the most damage efficient unit in the book.
Oh.
In the book, yep. Even against Agrodon Lancers, just straight up, no buffs, no nothing. They are point for point the most damaging unit in the book in combat.
Good to know.
Which is pretty cool. And then you can also put buffs onto them, because you can give them the Star Priest buffs for wounds, the 6s to wound mortals in addition.
Oh, that's very nice. And he gets a Hoarfrost in the list as well.
Hoarfrost on as well. So yeah, these boys can wreck face for sure. So if you need something taken off a point in combat, usually Raptidons are the way to do it. Okay, so just checking up with Kara here. She's saying of course, Soulblight. Yeah, Slanesh soon. Oh, very cool. And she's saying, and her man as well. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's a nice feel-good feeling on a Sunday morning. And then also, and she says, besides Skaven and Beasts and Gargants. Oh yeah, very
a lot
good.
of love to give.
Very good. Lots, just so much love to give. Okay, so looks like Tom has just taken full table board control here. We've got, looks like we're going to be having control over multiple objectives, so we'll have this objective here, he'll have, this objective here, we'll have this objective here, and we'll have this objective up here. So holding 4, which then means if John does decide to burn 2, he'll at least still be on the other 2. Obviously can be taken off of them quite easily in the respective clan rats as well. I know that we could be eyeing up potentially Raptidon charge here. Could go in and just absolutely wipe these clan rats. We've also got Raptidons up here, could also do the same. I think also John needs to be wary of the 2 big Vermin Lords that are currently going to be in his lines as well. So he might want to use some combat to deal with them, or whether he thinks that he has enough output from his magic castle here to just remove it. So very interesting. Obviously Croak is going to be well within that 18-inch range. For Celestial Deliverance, an amazing spell. Pick up to 3 enemy units, do D3 mortal wounds to each unit, and you can cast that 4 times. 4D. How do you like 4d3 mortal wounds in your face each unit per unit?
Ridiculously good spell.
Oh yeah, not to mention Comet's Call, which can put another potentially up to maybe 3 units on average, 3 to 4 units on average, also getting D3 mortal wounds as well. Or it could be D6 if it rolls high enough as well.
And if I do remember correctly, they actually removed the fact that it gets harder to cast in the new book.
Yep.
So there was a big buff that they got there, not that they needed it, with the +4 to cast that Croak gets innately.
Exactly. It's just nuts. It's pretty nuts. Okay, so let's see what we're doing. Could be some shooting here happening. Oh, this could be the Warp Lightning Cannon, actually. See how many mortal wounds we get. Looks like a lot of 6s there. Call to Arms dice serving him well. And I thought for a second he was lifting that warplane cannon, but no, he's ticking down the wounds there. Obviously, John does have a ward on a bubble from the Astrolith Bearer. Looks like he's taken some wounds on. Is it the Saurus Warriors that have taken some wounds? Looks like it. Which is interesting because I thought that Tom would maybe want to get the charge off here. So, but John doesn't really care. He's pulling from the back, not from the front. He wants to protect his heroes. His Slan is right behind that block of 10 warriors there. Interesting. The other option it could be is... Oh yeah, I was just double checking that wasn't one of the 5 Saurus guards, so no, it's not. So, Saurus guard, they've got the spears, I can see. The clubs are the Saurus warriors, so it looks like it did go into Saurus warriors. And looks like John made a good couple of ward saves as well. He's only picked up a couple of models. And they do have 2 wounds apiece now as well, which is
they're very tanky,
chunky. So
very
yeah,
tanky.
20 wounds, that's pretty cool. So it's okay. He's made the charge in with Lord Screech. Looks like he's re-rolling for the Warbringer. Needs a big old charge. Let's see if that was enough. Not enough, looks like. Unfortunate. So looks like only 1 charge from Tom there, from Lord Screech. Looks like he's gone for a roar. And he's using his own command ability, which is +1 to hit and wound, so that's pretty cool. I like that from Lord Screech. Much better than all-out attack. So let's see how much damage you can do. So I genuinely don't know the damage output of Lord Screech.
It's not something I've seen too often.
I know that he's not the most damaging of the Vermin Lords.
So let's have a quick look here. So he gets 6 attacks with his Doomglaive, which is currently going to be 2s and 2s because of his ability. Rend 2, damage 2.
That's not bad.
And then 8 attacks with Plague Viper, also 2s and 2s. Rend 1, damage 2.
That's not bad at all.
So he can potentially be doing what's that? It's almost 30 damage.
Okay, so max potential 30 damage. But interested to see just how much damage he does here into these Saurus warriors. That also have a ward as well. So let's see how many John picks up. He's lost 1, 2.
Also depends on what he's actually picked up here as his.
Looks like he's only lost 3 Saurus warriors there. And remember, there was a floating wound in there. Oh no, hold on. Get some more. No, he did. He only lost 3 Saurus warriors out of that. Plus a floating wound. So what's that? 5 wounds in total? 5 damage? The warriors are getting to pile in, and they're going to swing into Lord Screech. So not great. Not great from the Vermin King.
The Screech does have a 5-up ward of his own.
Okay, that's nice.
So he's not too...
He's a bit more survivable. Screech has done some damage. Let's see how good these Saurus warriors hit. Dropped a couple of hits. Wounds, looks like 6 wounds. Do they have Rend now, the Saurus warriors? They didn't used to have. Or maybe, I think they maybe did have Rend on the clubs. It sounds like he'd got Mystic Shield off on Lord Screech in the previous turn as well.
Yeah, warriors are Rend 1.
Okay. So we'll see how much damage he takes after the wards. Looks like he's ticked down a few wounds there.
And the warriors are, because they're contesting an objective, they get +1 to their saves anyway.
Oh,
so
that's really cool.
They're actually sat on that 3-up save.
That's what will have blunted them. I would imagine John would spend on all that defense there as well. But yeah, that sounds like that is us all over. John has spent an inspiring presence. Here's the prior roll. John first, then Tom. Looks like Tom's won it.
That's what Tom needed, because as Phil's correctly pointed out in the comments there, if Seraphon took that turn, Skaven would probably be tables
they'd
if that
be
was
gone.
the case.
100%,
so
they'd be gone.
big for Tom to get that.
So I think Tom needs the double. And John just showing you which 2 objectives he's decided to burn. So he's burned. He's
taking it. There we are.
He has burned these 2 objectives here and here. So Tom has basically got this objective, and then these 2 to play with as well.
It's interesting because I was just looking into it, and you don't actually have to burn 2.
No, you don't have to.
Up to 2 as well.
It's you may burn up to 2,
which is nice.
John has just gone straight for the burn. I think this is the right play from John.
Yeah, the best 2 to get rid of there.
He just wants to get rid of them. He's going to do some mortal wounds potentially as well. And it also just means that you're removing Tom's ability to score, because as I've already pointed out, battle tactics are quite difficult to come by for the old Skaven. Not difficult for John to come by from his. No. He's got multiple ways to get battle tactics. Kill things with magic. He's got 2 of them because he's got a GHB one and he's also got a book one of his own as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting GHB here, very lending itself to magic heavy armies like Lumineth and Seraphon especially. So I know not everybody was happy to give magic armies that extra little bump up.
He's going for surround and destroys this one. Yeah, I think that's the right play. He can set this up quite easily. He's got 2 of those clan rat blocks on either flank that can get 2 edges, and then he just needs to make sure he leaves something wholly within 6 of a board edge. This is a notoriously easy one to make mistakes on.
Yes, if you're Reese Fraser.
Sorry, Reese. If you either pick the wrong units or you pick a unit and then you move it away from the edge. Oh dear. Right, so we'll score this up from last turn and then we'll move on to the next. So it looks as if we've got 5 points there for Skaven from turn 1. He did get Intimidate Invaders.
Yes.
And then going into turn 2, he then going for Surround and Destroy.
And John is down to 3 command points now as well.
Yes. So John getting his bonus command points only in his hero phase. Not in just the hero phase. So 2 CP for Skaven and 6. Sorry, 3. Down from 6 to 3 for John. And I'll just make sure to update the turn track as well. We are in turn 2. Into turn 2 now. Fantastic. Right, so let's see if Tom's hero phase can go a wee bit better, because his magic was not ticking.
Miscasting your first spell's pretty sad.
So we'll see what happens here. So yeah, just catching up with chat here. Thomas Backhouse is saying there's a sickening amount of mortal wounds. Yes, it was devastating, pretty bad. And again, if John gets another turn of that, it's going to be pretty rough for Tom. Kara's coming in with there are Skaven lists that can do well, mixing clan focus ones. It's not an easy army to utilise because there are many different aspects of moving parts. Yes, absolutely.
I think that's a big part of the problem with the Skaven book, is how many units are simply in it.
Yes, exactly.
It does need slimming down, I think. Not everyone would be happy with that, but I think that, in order to better utilise some of the things in the army, you should probably just get rid of some of the oldest. Half the army is older than me. It's still metal, so it would be handy if they would get
and I wish they would just do a range update. And I'm one of these people where I know that people have got some kind of nostalgic attachments to certain old models and stuff like that, but in 40k I was all for them binning Firstborn Marines and just going full Primaris. I was just why bother with this slow thing? Just rip the bandage off and go for it. And again, with other ranges with really old nasty sculpts as well, I'm also just nah, either redo them or bin them. Let's just get them out of here. Why bother?
Especially that's one of the big things as well. That's with cities and things as well. The fact that you're getting a nice redo for those guys, because it was rumoured that they might actually just scrap the book a year or 2 ago. So that's quite nice. We're seeing potentially Bone Splitters just getting the axe instead. Yep. But the nice thing that they have done with Games Workshop here is, obviously, if you're a matched player or a competitive player, realistically you're probably not going to be taking any of those nostalgic units anyway.
Yep.
But they do love to complain.
Yeah.
But you can still play them in Legends with your friends over beer and pretzels. Yeah. So they're still free rules. They just don't get updated any further. So it's not like you can never take them again.
Yeah. For sure. And then just catching up with Phil there. He says would have been big danger in the double there for sure. Unfortunately, the Warbringer just failing to get in there. I'm struggling to see what Tom's actually going to be able to do with the double here, because I don't think he's got a way. He's going to be able to find a way to get into that big clump of
break
heroes.
Through the screen.
It's really tough. And then he's saying Screech doesn't slap too much. Yep, I agree. I've just seen that. Seraphon going to pretty much table Skaven with the turn, I think. Yep, agreed. And he said if only the Warbringer had got in, double might have let him into the heroes. If he doesn't get into the heroes, it's going to be spicy. And then he's saying, yep, he agrees with Kara on Skaven. The battle tactics being locked to clan really skews the book. Imagine Tom can do one Skaven battle tactic. We actually talked about this, Phil. We looked at the battle tactics and he can do none of them. He can't. There's not a single one he can do. He can't kill a monster with Scryer. He can't do anything with the Pestilence unit because he doesn't have a Pestilence unit, I believe. He's not got a Vermin Lord Corruptor. He's just got the Warbringer. He doesn't have any Rat Ogres to do the Clan Molder one. And he doesn't have any Eshin units to do the Clan Eshin one, so it's really, really, really rough there in terms of battle tactics. And then Owen Jackson. We have is this the Owen Jackson? The Owen Jackson. Hello, Owen. Lovely to hear from you. Owen, a very good player, plays for the Welsh team, I believe, down there. And I've met him at a couple of tournaments now. He always does well. And he said, "Morning, thanks for the stream, chaps." He's saying the Skaven player has to clear out those Saurus warriors so the Vermin Lords could charge the Slan to have any chance in this game. Yep, absolutely. I think that's what a lot of people are kind of echoing just now. And it doesn't look like Tom... okay, so let's look at what's the best case scenario here?
He could potentially shoot and chop off another couple, but there's no way that even with the Warp Lightning Cannon that he's going to chew through the 10 wounds that he's still got there with Screech Engage, the +1 to the save innately for contesting that objective that they've got at the moment, and the fact that they've still got the 5-up ward from the Astrolith Bearer, it's just too much for him to chew through,
I think potentially for me, the kind of I feel like the only path to victory here for Tom would be if he can somehow remove these Saurus warriors through a combination of shooting from the Vermin Lords and from the Warp Lightning Cannon. If he can move this Warbringer into this area kind of down here, and then he gets big old charges from both of the Vermin Lords into this area here. I think for me that's the kind of only path here. In terms of what the Warbringer was eyeing up before, he was eyeing up a charge into the Saurus Guard here. But I think that path's now closed to him. If he'd have did that last turn and wiped the Saurus Guard last turn, then absolutely he could just romp on in here. But not right now. So let's see what... he's going over that way. Okay. Maybe thinking he can wipe the 10 wounds of Saurus Guard with Warp Lightning Cannon as opposed to over the other side. But he still does have a very big charge to try and get in over here. Do Vermin Lords fly? I'd like to know that, please. That could obviously help him here, try and get round that big impassable engine, big kind of
they do not.
Engine. They do not have fly. Okay, so that's a... If he does manage to clear those Saurus Guard, it's still a big old charge to get that base round about that engine. So Thomas coming in saying the best thing about cities is the huge potential for having crabby themed armies. Fancy a Kislev style, but there's loads of cool sculpts that would fit. Alright, okay, so yeah, I think Tom was talking yesterday about the fact that he's got some city stuff and he would quite like to get back onto that and get that painting, so absolutely. As soon as you finish my Save to Darkness, Tom, I'll give you permission to start painting your cities, that's fine. And then Kara's saying, even if you go pure Molder clan, the Molder tactic's difficult to do unless you roll half decent. The Pestilence one is easy if you've got a pure Pestilence army, but yeah, others are rough. So you almost need to split yourselves into your army into like 4 different parts to just get your tactics. And if any of those units go, or if you don't roll well enough, then you just don't get them anyway. So it almost seems just like
too restrictive.
Yeah, try and tailor your list to get 5 GHB battle tactics, which is pretty tough.
Yeah, this GHB is not very forgiving.
Pretty tough. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So let's see, it looks like we're moving these clan rats. Looks like they are going to be coming and get his Intimidate Invaders. Sorry, not Intimidate, Surround and Destroy. One of his picks down here. Okay, so that's 1 unit on. Yep, and now he's just John talking him through there that he's got 3 different board edges. He's picked the right 3 units, hopefully, to score it.
I think he just confirmed there that he has managed to get it. For
sure. So it looks as if he's got it with these units here. So he's got 1 unit clan rats here. He's got 1 unit clan rats down here, and it looks like he's got just a little. I think this could possibly be the Grey Seer up here, but we'll double check. Yes, I think it is. Yep. So it's the
This
Grey
looks
Seer. Oh no, sorry, that's the. It looks like the Warlock. One of the Warlocks actually up the top
Warlocks,
left-hand corner.
on the
He's
garrison
actually got the
tree.
Grey. His Grey Seer and the other Warlock are down here. So that's good. So he's got his battle tactic. He will be. Well, I say will be. He should be able to hold more this turn. Hold 1-2 more. If he can clear those Saurus warriors off that middle objective. I do think that John is just towing on with the Slan right here. So that's worth 2. However, is Screech a monster?
Yes.
He is a monster. Whew. Because otherwise that could have been curtains there. Because even if he was able to clear those 5 Saurus warriors, if he was only worth 2, then he'd be contesting with that Slan and wouldn't be able to get it off of John.
Yeah, we've seen some silly things in this edition that should be monsters that aren't monsters and are monsters that shouldn't be.
No, for sure.
My favourite one, we all know, Glutos or Scolion. 18 wound, 480 point model. Not a monster.
Not a monster. Oh dear. It's because he's not had enough excess. He needs to be more excessive.
More excessive.
Then he can become a monster.
Well, we shall have to hopefully wait for 4th edition for that one.
It does also, it kind of puts into perspective the importance of monsters. I saw it yesterday on the stream with Stu versus JJ. JJ with an awesome little trick where Manfred was, sloppeted, so he couldn't pile in closer to a Nurgle unit, but he just said, well, I'll just pile in anyway. I've still got a 3-inch pile-in move. I can't finish closer, so I'll just not finish further away. Managed to pile Manfred onto one of Stu's objectives that he had full control over. Just took it off him on a 5-4 because Manfred's a monster, and he only had a Sloppity and 1 fly on it. And so that was like a huge play from JJ, and something that we need to be more mindful of in terms of like pile-in moves. Even though that you might have this rule that says, you can't pile in closer. So I can still pile in. I can still move.
Yeah,
I've still got
piling's
movement.
a huge
Still got
absolutely
movement.
in taking those objectives.
And I'll just use this monster to take it off you. So very good. Philip saying, Glutos is goal body, and I'm tired of pretending it's not.
It's a peak physical male performance there.
Peak, exactly, fitness. I'd say, Glutos is probably the epitome of dad bod. The dad bod meme, I would say. Yeah.
Just give him a TV remote instead of the little stave that he's got.
100%. Yeah, I mean, all aspire. I can see him now wearing his, I don't know, we'll say his pan British football top. Just spouting random reckonings about things, and just going
saying that he could have scored that much
absolutely
better.
Could have scored that. Love me team, love me team. I hate anything that's chaos. Not racist, just don't like chaos. Just that kind of stuff. So, absolutely love to see it.
And there goes the other Warp Lightning cannon.
Oh my baby, sweet baby James. So it looks as if the Warp Lightning cannon has not done nearly enough damage to that Saurus, that block of Saurus. Looks like it's maybe only done 2 mortal wounds before exploding. Oh,
it's the risk of running them, unfortunately.
Things just not going his way. Looks like we're rolling up a charge just now. So we're just kind of chatting through here. What is the maximum his base can move? I think he's trying to do the surfing. I think he's trying to go surfing USA. So I think he's trying to move him and then rotate the base around, but it's just not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough movement to get into the big block of heroes. Even if he was to get into the block of heroes, he's still got 5 Saurus Guard protecting him as well to pass off wounds, 10 ablative wounds. And the
5 up ward. It's the bodyguard rule for Seraphon there, just coming in clutch, in that they can pass them off and still tank things. So it's very nice.
So it looks like he's gone for a stomp there on the Saurus Guard with the Warbringer, and he's piled on in. So he's just taking a teeny bit of movement, teeny bit of pile-in movement there, and looks like he's going to be swinging over there first. And he's just educating John that he has Rend 3. Rend 3. Wow.
The Warbringer.
Okay.
He's massively buffed that up.
Okay, so we're going to get some. Here we go. We're going to get some rolls here. We've only had the one charge, just the Warbringer into the 5 Saurus Guard. Screech was already in combat, and he's not wanting to charge in those clan rats because they will just die. So
what he's really hoping for is with the Spike Fist. He's really hoping to roll some 6s there because it makes it damage characteristic 6 if he does that.
Holy moly, that's a heinous amount of damage there. That's really cool.
So that will really be able to like carry him through, which is going to be good.
Okay. Let's see for the wounds. Look as he's done 3 wounds here. So it looks like he's got John saying he's got 6s. He's made 1 save, 2 go through. And they also would have been getting a ward save from the Ashworth Bearer from that 6-inch there.
I was just seeing there Owen saying that he feels like he should have blown up the Ron Shaper.
Ah,
but
yeah.
You know, I was actually thinking about that. Yeah, stomping on that would have at least helped remove a lot of the mortal wound output.
That would have been cool. I mean, I think all of this is very much kind of like nice to have cherries on tops or things like that would be like the perfect game. I think as it stands right now, I think John's just going to take turn back here and then just table Skaven. I think.
Yeah,
I think that's
I think it's
going to happen.
Going to be the case.
I think this is going to be quite a quick game. So John's going with the Saurus Warriors next. See if he can plink a few more wounds off of Lord Screech. Tom just on the back foot here, lost 2 assets already in the Warp Lightning Cannons. And yeah, just staring down the barrel right now from the Seraphon magic list. Okay, so I think what we'll do is while we're rolling up some innocuous damage from the Saurus Guard into Screech, and hopefully Screech will clear the Saurus Warriors. Hopefully they can actually do something there. Let's talk about some of the spicier pairings that have actually happened for this round, shall we?
A good couple of interesting ones in
okay,
round 4.
so we'll click it back onto our gorgeous faces. Hello. On table 1, we have Nathan Watson versus Andy Pennington. So this is Nathan's 3rd round with Seraphon. So Korn just doing Korn things. So he quite, well, maybe not handedly, but yeah, he was able to deal with Seraphon yesterday on stream. So if you've not seen that game, go and check that out, please. He's playing Richard McQuarrie. Yep.
So game 2, wasn't it? Actually, game 2. Yes,
game 2. Playing against Richard McQuarrie, and that was the classic Starborn with the Croak Bomb, the Slan Rupture, and Kronspine, the Wild Kronspine list. And that's exactly what Andy Pennington's running as well. So we'll see if Nathan can do again what he did yesterday. Obviously table 2, this is the one that we're showing you right now. This is John versus Tom. We just wanted to show you something a wee bit different because it's great to see Skaven. So we wanted to kind of show that off. Then on table 3 we've got Sean Murchie, who's doing very well. Yesterday went 3-0 with OBR. He's running Null Myriad, and he's against Will Crookshanks on Legion of Night. So this is the one which is even more zombies than JJ's list. I think it's 180 zombies or 160 zombies. I'm not sure, but it's a lot of zombies. So we'll see if Sean can chew through those zombies. We've then got JJ. He's playing Reese Fraser. JJ managed to go 2 in a draw yesterday. Reese is on 2-1 from yesterday. We did see both of these players on stream as well. Reese lost his game, unfortunately. Minor loss to Sinky, Callum Sinclair, game 1. So he'll be looking to repent and smash the rest of his opponents for day 2. We've then got Stu West, also someone that went 2 in a draw yesterday in his game against JJ. He's running the bees list, the bees knees, all those plague drones and Nurgle, and he's against Rich McQuarrie, who, as we've said, is running that Starborn Kronspine list. We've then got Raph. We've got Raffle Colban. He's running a coalesced Seraphon.
Nice to see something different.
This is the one that we highlighted on our preview show. It's the 2 6s of Agrodons plus Croak. And he's against Lewis Mitchell, who's running Trox.
Also Lewis's 3rd Seraphon game.
Oh my
in this
god. We've got 8 Seraphon at the tournament, and yeah, you could run the risk of just playing Seraphon. So there we go. We've then got Keith Brown versus Alistair Robertson. So I'll eventually remember what Keith's playing, but I'll have a wee check of his list. Yeah, so he is running Null Myriad Bone Reapers versus Alistair. Alistair performing well with his KO. Looks like he went 2-1 yesterday with his Barak Urbaz list. Pretty much the list that's being run right now with the 15 Thunderers, And Tom has just
hit the camera. First
his
accident
first
of the
camera
day.
hit of the day. Fantastic. First camera hit of the day. Luckily, we were pointed at us and not at the actual table. I have had to tape the camera supports because so many people can't see a massive black leg on the ground there, even though we've tried to make as much space around the table so people don't hit it. But unfortunately, that's his first infraction of the day. We'll have to deduct some victory points there. And then we've got Trev. He's running Cruel Boys against David Bishop Miller, who's running Big Wa. So it's Auric versus Auric Violence. Looks like meat's back in the menu, boys. We've then got Sinky. He's running his Doc. So Daughters of Cain versus Alistair Maxwell, also on OBR on table 9. And then, one other honourable mention as well. Lee Martin, actually, he lost his game 3 versus Tom yesterday. And he gets to play Skaven again.
Yes, so he's going to hope to make up for his mistakes. He's doing very well with those Slanesh.
Yes, very well. He went 2-1 yesterday with that. So yeah, and also had to do a big shout out to Stephen Dale. Stephen is a patron of the Call to Arms channel, and he's running Cruel Boys. He went 2-1 yesterday, so great result for Stephen, and he's playing against Ewan Hogg, who's also running Trogs. So we'll see. The Cruel Boys, obviously, they are the masters of mortal wounds, so we'll see how many 5-up wards that Ewan can make on his Trogs. So that's us. So those are some spicy matchups there. We will go back to the action now, and we'll see the lay of the land. So looks like Screech did manage to clear the Saurus Guards. Sorry, not the Saurus Guards, the Saurus Warriors. They are gone. Unfortunately, though, however, we're seeing now that we weren't able to get into that Castle of Heroes.
I'm going to go check.
Perfect. So it's not looking ideal. And we'll get a wee summary. Kyle's away to have a wee chat there. Doesn't look like Tom's actually done much damage to the mic. Sorry, not the mic. The camera setup. The table still looks pretty even. So I'm happy with that. And we'll get a little update from Kyle. He's having a wee chat with the players to make sure that they are just to check where they got up to as we were having a wee chat about the pairing. So I think Tom should have gotten another 5. So he should be sitting pretty on 10 victory points. We'll double check CP in a wee second, and we'll also double check the battle tactic that John's gone for in this turn as well. Phil's saying that Tom really needs a miscast or some fat dispels from Skaven to keep them alive. Absolutely. And he says, keen to see how Stu and Rich is going. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some updates from Matt very soon. We've already played, I believe, 45 minutes. He gave the 2 hours left call a wee while ago, so we'll hopefully see some at least a couple of turns from those guys. So we'll get a little update from Kyle. How are we getting on, Kyle?
Yeah, going well there. So confirmed, 5 points easily there for Tom.
Yep.
He was just saying that, unfortunately, he did roll too many mortal wounds for his Warp Lightning cannon.
Damn.
And they were just measuring there to see if, even with the pile-in, if he could have got in with the 3-inch range to try and do some more damage with the Warbringer, but he couldn't do that, sadly. So we've confirmed that John is going to be going for Overwhelming Numbers, which is the take an objective controlled by your opponent and contest it only with a skink unit.
Nice.
So that's going to be very good for him to try and get. There's a couple of options that he can do with that.
Well, yeah, because those Raptidons are skink units.
Yes.
So they can quite easily get that as well. It doesn't have to be those little 10 blocks of skinks. You can just, if you've got Raptidons on, you can also just do that as well. So I'll type that in just now. Overwhelming Numbers. Let's go for Overwhelming Nose. And I think Tom just having a little comfort break.
That's him gone home.
He's away home. I'm away home. Up the road. So we're back, and then I think John is basically going to start the pain train from the Seraphon magic phase. So we'll see what's going on here. Looks like he's using the Slan's heroic action teleport there. He just wants to get the Slan totally out of danger here. If he's not able to do enough damage to either of those Vermin Lords, can't kill them, and then staring down Tom getting prio, then he doesn't want to lose his Slan. But it doesn't like he's moved him away that far. He's only moved him to definitely still within pass-off range of those Saurus Guards, but he's moved him a bit further back, so he's not in full danger threat range. I think that John will be looking to target the Warbringer, take him down. So yeah, Phil's also calling out cheating. Stop him, model nudger. What have we missed? Oh my gosh. Don't know if Phil's just trolling here, or if in fact we have actually seen some cheating. I doubt it very much.
Probably not.
doubt it very much. But we'll see. So yeah, wee cheeky heroic action teleport there. And unsure as to why John's putting out wounds. Maybe somebody could inform us of this one. Philip just causing some liable. Fantastic. No, that's great. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yes. Heroic action teleport rather than nudging. Okay.
To be fair, Seraphon can do so many little tricks and things. It does seem sometimes that the rules are just made up as they go along.
100%. I mean, Phil knows this very well. He spent most of last season there playing KO on the lead up to Worlds, and he would often at the start of the game, you know how when you do that bit where you're explaining to your opponent what your army does?
Yes.
Most of the time he would just go, look, it's going to sound like what I'm saying, I'm making it up as I go, but just trust me.
Just roll with it.
Yeah. He's just like, because I can do this, I can do this, I can do that, I can do that, I can re-roll that, I can also do this, I can also do this. And yeah, it can get a bit overwhelming sometimes if your opponent. A lot of the time it's nice just to keep things simple. So, for example, you can just say, oh, by the way, I'm just going to do 5 battle tactics. Or if they say, what's your grand strat? You just say, look, I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to get it. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, that's what I tend to tell my
it.
opponent. They're like, what's your grand strategy? I'm like, well, mine's to not summon.
So don't worry
and
about
I
it.
left all my stuff at home. So
it's good. Look, don't worry about it. You'll have no way to impact it whatsoever. I just get 3 points. So that's the best way to explain things, I think. So out comes the Malevolent Maelstrom. John is going to want to tick that up and then explode it. Yep, we've got 90 minutes left in the round. The 2 players on this stream do have a wee bit more time because we started them slightly later than the actual round clock, which should be fine. I don't see this game going to time somehow. Yeah, Owen saying, I feel that the realms might be in for some cleansing. Yeah, I think so. I think somebody's definitely called Rent to Kill, and these rats are going to be out of here. Okay. So let's see what John's kicking things off with. So we've got Maelstrom out. I would imagine it's just a pretty clean cut. He's probably already cast the +1 to cast spell from the Slan. So I would imagine it's just straight in with Celestial Deliverance 4 times from Croak and then a Comet's Call from the Slan. Okay. So it looks like also looks like John's cast something from the Astrolith Bearer. Oh, my apologies. So the dice that John put out was just, I think, just to keep a track of who can cast how many spells.
Yes.
Right. So that's good from John. It means he can't forget anything. There's no shenanigans he can pull. In terms of the list, I think the Astrolith Bearer, he might have given him a wee cheeky. No, he's definitely not.
No,
he's not.
Special on him.
I do remember seeing an Astrolith Bearer with an Arcane Tome in one list. I can't remember if it was Rich's list perhaps, but yeah, I think that was maybe just the wee star, the Star Seer. Yes, it was the Star Seer he was trying to cast there. I think that Tom may have stopped that actually with Primal Dice. So important to remember also Primal Dice. We need to keep a track of that as well. But I think obviously the players will keep track. Trying to keep a track of Primal Dice at the same time as everything else is a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, it's just another thing to add to the tally at the moment.
Just another thing. So I think we'll just keep it as is. But yeah, these guys can, I'm sure they can let us know kind of what's went down. So let's see what John's decided to cast now. Looks like it might have miscast here because he's lost a Saurus Guard, but that's the Ah, there we go. So it was Merciless Blizzard coming out there from the Starseer, and he took some mortal wounds and passed them off to the Saurus Guard. Yes. So that's why the Saurus Guard have gone. But the Warbringer is now going to use his Merciless Frenzy, which means that he can pile in an attack when he dies. And I think he was just within range of those Raptidon charges up there. Is that right?
No, they were measuring that earlier on, so he
yes. So it looks like he's killed 1, 2, 3 Raptidons gone. Okay, so nice from Tom there, but the Warbringer's gone. Good lord, yeah. I hadn't even remembered about Blizzard because I was too busy concentrating on all the other mortal wounds that Seraphon can do. So yeah, Blizzard there, wasn't able to stop it.
Yeah, I feel like they need to change the wording with the with Blizzard itself. Well, hopefully we'll see that coming in the War Scroll update that we'll be getting. Just because I don't think you should be able to negate the wounds that you deal to yourself in any way, shape, or form. There needs to be a higher risk reward.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That. And the ability to cast that spell in Seraphon, which is really, really easy, and then just pass that off. It's far too easy.
That's insane.
And what would you think about reducing the output of Blizzard itself? I've seen a lot of people say 43 rather than 46.
Yeah, I think it's just such a hugely powerful spell that can do a max of 24 mortal wounds in one go. I think is too much. I think either reducing the damage output of it. I've seen people want to reduce the range of it, like almost to take it to 9 inches, like Curse. If you remember, Curse was a prayer that saw a lot of there was quite a lot of controversy around it. People trying to tailor their list to might be able to take Curse to then use the mortal wounds. You never see it anymore.
No.
you just don't see it anymore, because it's almost like a kind of a why bother. But yeah, the range going down or the damage going down. But the thing is, if you put the range down, there are armies that can just abuse that anyway. So Seraphon's one of them because it can just teleport outside 7. Cool. And there are other armies as well that could potentially abuse it also. For the range, like for example, Skaven actually is the other one. Dreaded Skitterleap is outside 7, so you need
the no holes.
You need the Eshin Vermin Lord to do that. But yep, that's also another one. So yeah, it seems when I had my first outing with the new GHB a few weeks ago at Tempest, and some of the main points that I came away with from that weekend is Blizzard is too strong. Soulblight is too strong.
Bone Reapers.
Oh god, yeah.
No one plays them though, you know. No one plays them. Nobody
plays No Myriad. Rarely seen faction. But yeah, it was just Blizzard is just such a feels bad. Because it can just remove you know, you've got that big 500 point model that you're using, and then it's like, oh, that's just blizzarded off now. It's gone for one spell that you just couldn't stop, and 46 mortals, goodbye. So looks like the Gravetide is coming out. John just deciding where to set it up. And looks like we're just trying to measure up where the Gravetide can go and can hit. But it looks like John's eyeing up those clan rats on that objective. Well, it's actually not an objective anymore because it's been burned. Yeah, Owen Jackson coming in and saying Astro with the tome is cute as he gives you 2 celestial conjuration points each turn. Yep, it's pretty cute. I like that. Just gives you that other wizard as well. Someone else to cast Mystic Shield with. Okay. So Screech taking some more mortal wounds there. I'm sure John probably would have also blown up a scenery piece potentially as well to cause some more mortal wounds if he's remembered. Hopefully. Phil's saying, being charitable, I feel like Blizzard is an attempt by Games Workshop to give some hitting power to weaker armies that don't have as much, but as always, the main beneficiaries are already strong armies like Soulblight, Gravelords and Seraphon. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it genuinely thought it was Games Workshop's attempt to go with, look, we want to make this kind of nuts thing that's quite fun, but it's okay because it's like a 12 to cast, right? So you're going to have to like add loads of primal, but then you could like blow up, haha, that could be really good. And then it's almost as if they totally forgot that no, there are just some armies that can just cast that. reliably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without even needing to add primal dice to it.
I think that primal miscasting maybe should be on any double instead then, or something. Make it much more risky to reduce the output. But then again, things like Seraphon, Soulblight, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
So it's. I just think the spell shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
If we're honest, not even nerfing it at this stage. And the problem is we're now into a 12-month GHB, not a 6-month GHB.
Yep.
So we are stuck with it. But that means we're probably going to get 2 or 3 battle scrolls worth of updates throughout.
For sure. It's so funny that Hoarfrost was the thing that I feel like everybody was looking at and going, oh, this is nuts, Hoarfrost, oh my god, you can get the Rend 3 on this shit, and oh my god. And it's so funny, you barely see Hoarfrost, or you maybe see it in some lists, but you'll speak to the players and be like, oh, I never actually cast it at all. And it's like, yeah, because why would you if you've got Blizzard, or if you've teched into Rupture, which again, a lot of people at the start were also thinking, why the hell is this spell even here? You're never going to see it. And it's like, oh, no, you can now tailor this, and we've kind of broken this thing. We've broken the Blizzard thing. You barely see Hoarfrost now, and I'll say it, I have no issue with Hoarfrost whatsoever, because I think that it's got the randomness to it, that it's something that can't be relied upon. However, you can be pretty reliable if you have a teleporting wizard that can cast Blizzard that you can add primal dice to. Because say you get Hoarfrost off, you still need to roll the D3, which is totally random.
Could roll a 1.
Could roll a 1, and in which case you're like, well, I'll put the 1 on. I'll put the 1 on to hit or the to wound, which can still be strong, don't get me wrong, but I still think it's got that random element to it that it just makes it way more honest and way more fair. And you're also having to put it onto a unit that you're then going to have to try and wield and then use as well. And again, there's more randomness in that because you have to get it in position. You have to potentially not be redeployed away from. You have to actually charge and put that power projection out there. Blizzard's just teleport, Blizzard. Teleport, Blizzard. So I have no issue with Hoarfrost whatsoever. Happy with Hoarfrost, keep it. But I think Blizzard does have to change, and the Rupture tech has to change as well.
No, absolutely, because we see all the Seraphon abusing the Incarnate basically more than anything else. No other army seems to be running it. Phil making a good point there. Absolutely, Hoarfrost by contrast is well designed and a bigger boost to weak armies rather than the strong ones.
Yes.
Varangard benefiting far less from it than the Bone Splitters Pigs, for example. Absolutely agree with that. Even if you roll a 1 and you want to put some just Rend 1 on something, on some extra clan rats or something like that, anything that doesn't have any Rend, and then if you roll the 3 or whatever, like I personally do run it on occasion on my Slickblade Seekers. Rend 3 on the mounts is very nice because they've got a bunch of attacks themselves, which is nice. And then Lenny coming in underneath that saying, make Blizzard casting value 14, no modifiers allowed, would push the use of primals and therefore increase the missions. I do actually agree, no modifiers allowed would be great. So Blizzard could only be cast, even on a 12, an unmodified casting roll of a 12 would be so you have to be able to get a primal dice in there. Yeah, no, for sure. It looks like we've got some results being updated into as well. Matt's chucking them into our WhatsApp chat. So Wrath has beaten Lewis Mitchell 23-6. Oh wow! So not a very good game for the Trogs there. Yeah. Unfortunately, looks like the Alpha Seraphon has paid off yet again from Wrath. Wrath did very well at Tempest, running the very same list. So he did really well. Went 4-1 there. 4-1 there. So he's been going. He's reaping the rewards of running Coalesce for sure. And I am actually low-key rooting for him, but you'd never heard me say that about a Seraphon player. So it's because it's a different Seraphon list, right? Yes. So I can totally understand the rooting, 100%. And I did go 4-1 at Tempest, so really love to see that. Not great for Lewis. 6 points, ouch. But while we've been chatting away, it does look like Lord Screech is no longer with us. So it's kind of game over, I think, here. Oh, for sure. So I think, I've kind of been keeping an eye there. So Screech is gone. John's also moved. Looks like 4 Raptidons up here. I don't know how that's happened because I thought... But Rally would have been the start of the hero phase. He lost the Warbringer. He lost the Warbringer after the fact. So I don't know how it could be that they've maybe rechecked the rules and then went, oh, actually you only killed 1 Raptidon. But we'll have a double check and see what's going on there. Looks like he's taken this objective here with the Skinks, so he's got that battle tactic because that was in control of Tom last turn.
So John's got his battle tactic there for the overwhelming numbers, and looks like he's just kind of consolidated his castle up onto this objective here. Looks like he's eyeing up a Raptidon charge into these clan rats here, and then he'll be charging these 4 Raptidons into here as well. It could well be, we haven't checked on summoning yet. He still was in the movement phase, but it looks like he's bringing on a summon just now. Again, just as a screen. Looks like some Saurus warriors, 10 Saurus warriors. So we'll double check John on how much CCP he has on this one, but he has essentially, or by the end of this turn, he will have essentially tabled Tom and have full board control again.
And he'll be easily able to get another 15 victory points out of this.
I think so. Even if the battle tactics dry up, and even if the primary dries up, because somebody could be burning 2 objectives here again. Just depends. Then yeah. Oh yeah, Mark's saying the Realm Shaper can bring back models. Fantastic. Thanks, Mark. So that looks like that's how he's. That's how exactly what can Seraphon do. So it looks like he has brought back 2 Raptidons there, so he should be able to handily deal with both these clan rat units. Looks like he's rolled the charge. He's rolled the charge down here for these Raptidons into this unit of clan rats. They should be gone. And then we just need to roll the charge for those Raptidons, and they're in as well up the top of the screen as well. So. Well, it's much of a muchness at this stage. Mark's saying you do have to spend CCP in order to do that. Yeah, there's a couple of things in there, a couple of rules you can use that aren't just summoning. I'm sure that you can also cast out a better ward save as well, I believe, which is really nice from the engine or from the Realm Shaper. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's not looking great for Tom. I reckon we might be wrapping up very soon, and maybe having a little debrief for the players as well, which is nice. We'll have a wee chat with them, do a wee kind of post-match interview. But yeah, so thanks so much for everyone for tuning in, which is awesome. Really great thoughts as well. We're having some great chat as well. Owen coming in also with, he's saying the rise of Soulblight Gravelords and OBRs kind of deflected the heat off of Starborn. This kind of game shows how strong or busted they really are. The Skaven player had literally no chance. Yeah, so it's one of these ones where you often find that there are certain gatekeeper lists or factions within a meta, and I know that a lot of people have been hating on OBR. They're saying like the lists are all the same, everyone takes null myriads, they're so tanky, they're so hard to kill, but they have acted as a gatekeeper, I feel, to try and keep Seraphon kind of almost in control.
At bay, yes.
Yeah, almost at bay. Like, okay, so Seraphon maybe aren't going for the full 5-0 because they just need to run into a single null myriad player, which can really blunt them, and then the null myriads can just deal with everything else as well at the same time.
I think that's what we're seeing here at Broken Realms, is that we're seeing several Seraphon players doing very well, top 2, 3 tables, repeatedly throughout the day, simply because we only have 2 null myriad players.
2 null myriads,
2 null myriad players compared to Tempest, where we had so many more Bone Reaper players. So I feel like, as you can mention, with the retreat of the Bone Reaper players out of Broken Realms, we're seeing Seraphon just completely dominate the scene at the moment. They're unstoppable. Other than Nathan's Corn maybe keeping a couple of them in check.
Again, the kind of anti-magic, but also not just anti-magic, but just the ability to kind of enforce will, take over board control, because that's something that the Starborn list struggles with. It's board control and bodies, so they have a lot of damage, but you can also just kind of have enough bodies or have enough wounds to try and kind of dampen that damage, and then you're just sitting on objectives, taking it off of them as well. I mean, you do finally connect with that little castle in there. You can. It's very easy just to lift stuff. So yeah, Owen's saying basically that the Skaven player had literally no chance. Yeah, so I think the only chance the Skaven player did have, as we'd all kind of highlighted, was if he was able to clear those screens and get into the castle on a double. I think it could have been on, but as it stood, he wasn't able to do so, and then now we're now seeing the ramifications of that. John also just stating there that he spent the triumph for +1 to wound up here, and as you can see, there are 20 less clan rats than there was before. So those Raptidons just absolutely wrecking face over there into those clan rats. We've got the clan rats down here. They're going to pile in. I think they'll be lucky to kill a Raptidon, and then they should also just be deleted in return as well. So yeah, pretty much all she wrote at this stage. Owen also saying, yeah, Starborn plus Gotrek just won the Sydney GT today.
Oh, well, congratulations
so
to that
very,
player.
very nice. So almost a Gotrek like the almost like the like the I wouldn't say poor. I was going to say poor man's Cron Spine, but maybe not. Maybe just another alternative point sync for Gotrek, because point sync for the Cron Spine, because the Cron Spine, it does a job which is basically pinning your entire opponent's entire army, and then you can hold it there because the Cron Spine can be unkillable. Feed it endless spells. It just doesn't die. Doesn't really tend to do that much damage. It's quite swingy, and yet can just whiff at times as well. Whereas Gotrek, if you want something that can clear bodies off objectives, and you're a Seraphon Starborn player, and you're like, I can't really deal with lots of bodies or lots of wounds on objectives, I think a good way of dealing with that is Gotrek, because he will just lift anything. Piling and attacking twice, he rerolls hits and wounds, 6s to hit, do d6 mortal wounds in addition. At rend 2, flat 3 damage from Gotrek. So yeah, just if you're struggling with something on a point, Gotrek should be able to crack it. And he's also really good into the likes of OBR. I'm seeing potentially people talking about, because Starborn players have been struggling with Null Myriad, they just take a Gotrek, and the Gotrek deals with that castle quite well.
Yeah,
because nothing can kill Gotrek with the 3-up ward unless they have the ability to turn off wards. And then the Gotrek chews through, and then the Starborn player just needs to kind of consolidate on the other objectives that he kind of clears. So very nice little combination there. So let's see, John, he's also made a charge with the Summon Saurus Guard as well. Didn't even pick up on that. Wow. Oh my gosh. It looks like Tom's going to be left with 3 foot heroes at the end of this turn. Wow. So let's have a wee check and see if we've got any other updates. I've also saw that Scott Smith, who should be playing at the tournament, has also commented. So what the hell, Scott? Have you finished your game? If you have finished your game, come and speak to us, and you can let us know how it went on. Or if you're literally just trolling your opponent standing watching YouTube as they're playing, then good on you, man. Good on you. That's a mental maneuver. Okay, let's see. Tom's coming around to pick up some models. Knocking the camera in the process as well. Second infraction for Tom.
Third strike and he's out.
And yep, looks like most of that Clan Rat unit are gone. And most of the Clan Rat unit that was charged by the Raptidons are gone. Clan Rats actually made a good account for themselves. Killed 2 Raptidons down here in the bottom left. But I think the Raptidons are still to swing. So, yeah, not looking good. So, John just rolling up lots of 6s there. The Call to Arms dice have been pretty hot. Nathan came over and said to me that when he was on stream, he was like, oh my god, these dice are busted. So yeah, if you do want to buy any of these dice, folks, please just drop me a wee line. Either drop me a wee DM or drop me an email. The email's down below, Call to Arms email. And if you'd like to buy any of these dice, it's £1 per dice. They're from Chessex, probably the best quality dice you can get in the world. And very nice. These are the gold and red edition, so these are slightly different than the white and red edition that came out for year 1 of Call to Arms. We're now in year 2 of Call to Arms, so we're running the gold and red this year. So if you'd like any of those dice, please hit me up. And we also have the custom Call to Arms magnetic range rulers as well. So a lot of people looking for ways to determine if you are within 12 inches of blizzard. Then just pick up some magnetic range sticks. Okay, so those Clan Rats are gone. I think John was just rolling up some bravery there for Clan Rats for Tom. Very nice of John to do that. And I think those Clan Rats, I think we have 5 Clan Rats left alive next to the Gravetide. And I think we've got 3 foot heroes left alive. for Tom. Tom also just stating out loud, I don't know what I can do. And there's the handshake there.
Yeah.
There's the handshake. And
that's
John
game.
just won prio as well. And that is game. So we'll let the two contestants have a wee chat about the score. I think they're quite right there. That is all she wrote. We could have potentially seen some spice there if Tom had managed to clear those screens and got into that thick castle of casters. With the Warbringer and Screech, we could have actually seen a pretty spicy game. As it stands, didn't quite go Tom's way,
No,
and then John was able to hang
if you
on.
managed to have cleared those Source Guard and the Warriors in the first turn there, and then got the double and opened the path up to the Slan and the other heroes, could have really gone much more in his favour. I feel losing the one Warp Lightning Cannon straight off the bat was huge. The second one then going and then losing, going into that prior in that last round there. He can't do anything whatsoever in that stage.
No, absolutely not. Quite right. So we'll let the guys have a wee chat out, because obviously they're having to talk out what potential battle tactics that both John could have done. I don't think there's any battle tactics that Tom has left, so I think basically there'll be no more point scoring for Tom. I think he'll finish on 10, and we just need to work out with John what battle tactics he could have accomplished. So let's maybe have a wee think about that. So John had done magical dominance on overwhelming numbers. So
he's still got intimidate. Surround and
destroy. And we would need some other. So what we could actually go for just now, because we do have some foot heroes left, we could potentially go for kill something with mortal wounds or kill something with a spell.
Very easy to do,
which is very easy to do. So I think
smattering of clan
John's going to have full battle tactics for each turn. Plus he should get his grand strat. Well, he will get his grand strat as well, spellcasting Seraphon also. So we will tally up the score with the lads there. But we will also just, we'll put it on the victory page. So it is victory to John and Seraphon. So congrats to John. Commiserations to Tom. It was great seeing Skaven up here on stream. Great seeing Skaven do so well day one, 3-0 with Skaven. And we wish him all the best for his next game. The 4-1 is still on. 4-1 is still on.
Still not a shabby result. There's so many good players here.
Yep.
At Broken Realms, with one being one of the biggest events.
Sure.
In Scotland at the moment. So honestly, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely. And so just to give you guys a wee update as well, the Game 5 stream, so it will be the top table. So it will be table 1, and it will be the two players playing for the win on the tournament. So regardless of who it was, we've tried to kind of keep it mixed up. We've tried not to have the same players on the table each time. Because actually, as it stood yesterday, after Nathan won his game 2, he then stayed on table 1, and he should have then played game 3.
Game 3, yes.
We then asked for them to step aside, go to a different table, and then we asked the next table to then actually come up as well. That's how we ended up with JJ and Stu. Regardless of who's on table 1, we will be showing the table for the person who's going to be taking it to the tournament. I think as it stands, there's only going to be 2 people going 5-0.
Yes, which is actually I would say nice for a change. I think there's nothing. Tempest, we had 3 people going on 4s.
Yep.
Heading into the round, so it was ended up determining battle tactics and everything like that.
For sure.
This is going to be much easier to determine, I think.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. So I'm just saying that we're going to watch the 2 people playing for the tournament. We're actually not, because there's technically 4
at the moment. Yes.
4 people that are going to be going 4-0. And then they're all going to be able to potentially go 5-0. So we've actually got a choice of 2 tables we could watch, because either one of the 2 winners of those 2 games could actually be the top spot.
The top spot. That
So
would be very interesting.
To see. So we'll have a chat with Matt, the TO. We'll see. We'll have a discussion amongst ourselves to see which one we'd quite like to see. I think basically whatever one Nathan is. Yeah, we want to see the game that doesn't have Nathan.
It doesn't have Nathan in it. Okay. Anything to get him off the
Anything but Nathan. But no, only joking, of course. Nathan's just the pantomime villain of AOS, the Scottish community. Everybody loves him. He's a really, really nice guy, except we all hate him. So that's fine. So yeah, victory to Seraphon, well done to John. And yeah, thank you to all my patrons of the channel as well. Thank you to all of you guys. So they managed to finish the game with 1 hour still in hand. So well done. Didn't even need the chess clock at all, Kyle. Well done to both players. And thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to everyone who's been commenting as well, giving us things to talk about and things to discuss, which has been awesome. Hopefully you guys can stick around for Game 5. We are going to take just a very quick break. We're going to ask both the players to come over and have a little bit of a debrief. We'll have a wee chat about the game, and we'll see. I did see John and Tom having a good little discussion at the end, maybe thinking about things that could have done differently, things like that. So we'll have a wee chat about that, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So very short commercial break, and we will be right back. Right, thanks folks, see you in a bit. Okay, and welcome back, folks. I'm here with the two competitors that we were just looking at on that stream game. So we're joined by John Bayliss and we're joined by Tom Youdale. Hello, chaps. How are we?
Yeah, doing fine.
Good.
Yeah, a bit battered and bruised after that one. But
yeah, I was going to say, how did it feel playing on stream?
my first time.
Yep.
A little bit nerve-wracking. It's more the fact that I'm always conscious when I'm playing, because I haven't played a huge amount of tournament games, that I'm making mistakes by accident.
Yep.
So it's more that I don't want to accidentally you can make small mistakes that you don't pick up.
My thing is I feel
absolutely.
like if I'm measuring it, I might just nudge the model back a little bit to make sure people aren't going to always measure too far.
Yeah, I'd rather play conservative.
Well, it's fine because Phil did actually call you out as a model nudger, John. He said model nudger. No, I was really joking. It was when you heroic action teleported the slan. It was. He was just causing some libelous flaming. That was all it was.
I'm not going to pay any attention to this.
No, it's probably best not to. So yes, obviously congratulations to you, John, with the win. Commiserations to Tom. The main reason that I wanted you guys on stream was I was really happy to see Skaven doing so well day one. 3-0 with Skaven is fantastic. And then obviously, then unfortunately, to see Skaven, we also had to see John on Seraphon. That's the real drawback to that matchup.
Yeah, I love you too, DJ.
Yeah.
But no, great to see John on as well, because a very good player, very technical player, so it was great to see what you're doing. And you are actually running one of the lesser busted of the Starborn lists at the tournament. You're not running a Cron Spine.
On purpose.
On purpose. He did it on purpose. He's narrative. He's a narrative gamer.
I used the Cron Spine enough, so I thought when it became everywhere, I would stop.
Yeah, John, you hate taking like the top meta picks because you took Be'lakor to Worlds and you hated him. Because you never, because you never roll the 3 up to start.
All the important ones.
And then you just not taking a Cron Spine because he's top meta, he's busted. You want to take some Raptidons instead.
Got to go away, so surely.
Yeah, and it's
in
good.
A few weeks it'll be gone.
And it's good to future-proof, right? So what's the point in taking him now if he's going to be gone there? But yeah, exactly. And you're doing very well.
Try and win a
True,
with him.
but you're doing very well without him. You're sitting on 4-0.
4-0.
Could be playing for it all next round as well. So very nice.
Undoubtedly versus my nemesis.
Undoubtedly, you know fine well you're going to get Nathan Watson. You know fine well. You guys love to play every single tournament.
It's like a reward.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you get rewarded with. So we've had loads of great chat interaction, loads of people commenting in the chat about the game. How do we think the game went, guys? I think it was obviously over top of turn 3. We shook hands at that stage, and that was because there was kind of like all she wrote, really, and then it was just to kind of discuss things out. Oh yeah, and what I wanted to check was what was the total score at the end to be figured out?
It was 24 to me, 10 to Tom.
So 24 to 10. Okay, that's
Only
fine.
scoring the 2 points on the last turn because there were no objectives left.
Yes. yeah, exactly. So objectives gone, and then just a battle tactic game from then on, basically, and then obviously gets the grand strat from Spellcast and Savant as well. So 24 to 10, so let's talk about the game, because we were thinking that it could have been a game had Tom had those Vermin Lords actually been able to go in and clear some of those screens. So talk us through your thoughts and your strategy for the game, Tom.
Yeah, well, I knew that I only had I had to hit hard. I had to go for the double turn.
Yep.
I had to probably go for the 5 points and get up on points and take the burn, because I knew I could push forward the clan rats. I also needed to spread out because he's got so many anti-horde tech with all of his spells.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, I need to kind of kill some key stuff, because to be honest with you, it's not going to be a long game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a long game, but so I have to.
The long game's for me.
Yeah.
The short game is where you need to do
yeah,
it.
exactly. I mean, losing the first cannon was actually, I think, a real issue for me. Because if I'd had 2 cannons, I think the Saurus Warriors probably go turn 1. Or at least have 1 or 2 left that I can clink off, hopefully, with other things.
Yeah.
If I'd rolled like a good dice roll. Who knows? They might have been around, and then I could have doubled. And yeah, my chance was getting into
chance
that
was there. It was that one moment.
Yeah, and that was. But I had to gamble on that. Like in that matchup, it's terrible for me.
Yep.
I got 10 casts, but you get very little off.
Yeah.
Against some armies, you can really pull it off, but against Seraphon, there's
If
no
you got
chance.
off the 13th spell in round 2
Yeah.
and got a decent power with your cannon, you would have cleared the Saurus Warriors, and then that Vermin Lord was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also only lost. I mean, the Warp Seer that was on that objective, that had Death Frenzy on it, that didn't get to swing, only died by 1 wound on the spell. So if I'd made one more 5 up, he would have still been there.
Yeah.
I still had the ability to fire off my nodes to do D6 mortals, which
Yeah, you
was
would
my
have done it.
backup plan.
Yeah.
Because
I'm saving that as the last bit.
I don't
sorry,
think
just
it-
as a flex there. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I would be able to
Oh,
kill
yeah, I
it
don't think
anyway.
it matters.
Don't
No,
even
no,
worry
no.
about it.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
I saw the list and I was like, to be honest with you, I was getting a bloody nose being up here in 3-0. It felt really odd.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's fine. I can sink back down to 3-1.
Oh, not at all. Well, the 4-1's still on. 4-1 is on. Yep, absolutely. But yeah.
did really well with them. We both knew how that game should go,
Yeah.
and it
Yep.
was down to where the dice could be in your favour at the start or
Yeah,
against me or something.
Like the Warbringer miscasting twice is not ideal.
Twice.
Yeah, twice, first 2
Oh
turns
my
miscast.
gosh. Jesus.
And then so it was. I just had to get through the screen and into the juicy stuff, or get off a Skitter Leap and basically gamble a Vermin Lord making a 9-inch charge.
Yeah.
And so you stopped Skitter Leap twice, and I didn't clear the screen.
Saved
And
all
that's-
my primals to make sure Skitter Leap was never happening.
Yeah, no,
And
that
I
was.
never needed it.
But the
Yeah.
thing is that at least with if I do roll 13 on the 3d6 with the Grey Seer,
Then it's going off.
You can't unbind it.
Yep.
So I was almost like, if I did get the 13, it was worth trying.
Yeah.
Because then you can have all the problems you like. And then
Nothing's happening.
and then but also, I think it was okay. I also thought a little bit that there's clan rats. I mean, they're not great. I still think they're the best unit in the book, but those skink riders,
They
melt
are
them.
amazing.
Oh yeah, we were talking about that in chat there. Points for point, they are the most efficient damage-dealing unit in the book in combat for
It's the
Seraphon.
2 damage. The 2 damage is amazing on objective.
Yep.
They are phenomenal. They've been my stand out unit for all my games so far.
Yep.
And you can summon them back, and you can return them with your conjuration.
Well, that's what we
points.
saw there as well. We were like, "How's he got 2 Raptidons back?" And then Mark Roberts came in and said, "Oh, you can bring them back with it." Oh, of course you can. Of course you can.
So
Yeah.
they're absolutely phenomenal. They die so easily.
Yeah.
And I've been losing them in every game. They just keep dying, but I just keep bringing more.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I don't have any more models to use at the moment, so I have to let them die first.
So what you say? You need to get some more
get 'em
out.
killed.
You need to get some more outdated Saurus Knight models. Is that what you
have
need?
5 more in a box somewhere.
Of course you do. Look, just ask
the pile
Scott.
of shame.
Ask Scott Smith. He'll have 20 up in his loft.
will, in
I'm
his
sure.
loft.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, they're amazing, and they've really done work. I mean, they
Yeah.
cleared out those clan rats.
Yeah, they cleared it. Because
Yeah.
usually, I would say that's the first. I've had like 10 Volkite Berserkers go into them. I've had Manfred go into them and not clear them.
Bounce it off and
Yeah,
just return the models
usually,
again.
because then at least you can because you can retreat and charge. You usually have 2 or 3 left. You bring D3 back. It's your turn. You bring another D3 back. So them going that quickly. It's just
Yeah.
I wasn't sure I would clear the whole unit, but I thought I'd clear enough from each unit to take the
I
objectives.
think you were fine anyway. I don't think the game probably was done at the end of my top of turn 2 when I
Prior,
Yeah.
when I
as
didn't
say.
which is
When you didn't get through the warriors,
yeah.
Yeah.
that was it.
And
I
then
would
also
say.
just like knowing that every spell that I have that's good, you have a bonus 6-inch reach. It's like I hit you, you can't hit me, basically for most of the game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can unbind anywhere, I can't. So it's just like it's just
Yeah, so no, awesome. So great to hear your thoughts from the game, folks. I hope that you guys all enjoyed watching it as well. Scott's also just commented in chat that you have to drop Scott a line if you do want any Saurus Knights.
Might take him up on that.
Scott is well known for hoarding any and all Warhammer paraphernalia up in his loft. So really, I think he's almost as big as Element Games now in terms of his stock levels.
Close to,
So
just doesn't have the staff.
yeah, exactly. Not got the staff. So he's not really got the advertising team as well. So you just need to slide into his DMs and you ask him, do you have this? Chances are he'll probably will have it. And if he wants to get rid of it, he'll sell it to you.
He wasn't selling his Seraphon before because he was always going to do the Seraphon.
I see.
but I haven't seen him do it yet.
Well, come on, Scott. We've not seen it. Come on, just either commit or give all your Seraphon to John. That's what to do.
That's fair.
So yeah, guys, I think we're pretty much going to sign off very shortly. The only thing I did want to bring or to kind of highlight is our good friend Sinky, Callum Sinclair. He is currently raising funds for the Scotland squad for Six Nations, and then also just the Scotland squad. The fund just funds both the Six Nations team and the Worlds team as well. So it's really, really nice to have, and he's really been great at doing these little fundraising things. When he was at Brewdog, he was able to give out loads of Brewdog stock. Hopefully he cleared that with Brewdog before he did that. Hope I've not just dumped him in it. But no. So
it doesn't work
oh well, yeah, it's true. So we had loads of alcohol which we raffled off, raised loads of money for the Scotland squad, and we are actually now also we're raffling off an Uni pizza oven plus accessories, because Sinky, that's the next company that Sinky's now worked on for, and he's now grifting them to get rid of their stock as well. So he's selling. We're raffling off. Yeah, that's right. We're raffling off an Uni pizza oven and accessories. So I believe he did tell me that the retail value of all this stuff is over £300. And if you'd like to get your hands on this, all you need to do is you just need to send £5, 5 of your pounds sterling, to a particular email address, and that will get you a raffle ticket. And then if we draw the lucky ticket, we'll be able to see if we can do the draw live on the channel as well. And that means that if you win that draw, you've won yourself all this cool Uni pizza oven stuff. Don't worry if you don't live in Scotland, because it can be, well, if you don't live near the Central Belt. Sinky has also said that he could try and finagle a way that if somebody could at least pick it up from somewhere in the Central Belt of Scotland, we can try and get it.
If you live in the States or
yes, please do not buy a ticket. I think we could maybe push it to other places in Britain. But please do not buy a ticket if you're international, as John says. So I have put Sinky's email address into the live chat, which you can see. It is. Oh, I think I've also misspelled it. So that's a great start. It's not Sink, it's Sinky. So I'll see if I can edit that as well or remove that message. Yep, ideal. So I'll type that in just now. I'll just double check that before I click send. So yes, Sinky92@live.co.uk. I have purchased a raffle ticket, so hopefully I'm a lucky winner. John, I believe, is purchasing one right as we speak as well. He loves them pizzas. So yeah, if you'd like to get involved, folks, and you'd like to put money to a great cause, and what better cause than the Scottish Age of Sigmar team, then please get on that as well. And I think that's about it, guys. So I think we will start to sign off there. Once again, we'll say congratulations to John, and we'll say commiserations to Tom, but I wish you all the best in the next round, folks. And the 4-1, the dream is still on, and potentially can John take out the tournament with a 5-0? He's done it before. You've had a 5-0 before, right?
One Broken Realms 2.
It's one Broken Realms 2. Oh, spicy stuff. So could they make it just the so you only win the even numbers of Broken Realms. So Broken Realms 2, and then if you win 4, yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's fine. And you also beat Nathan in that one as well. So it could be another Nathan John final for the win for the tournament as well, which would be very, very nice. So yeah. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for everyone in chat, and take care. We'll hopefully catch you next time for the game 5. And remember to answer the call. Thanks, folks. See you later.